At the very beginning of the story, we are shown a girl named Alex, and standing right in front of her is a boy whose name is Jared. Jared is trying to tell her something, and right at that moment, Alex's eyes suddenly open. As it turns out, she had only been dreaming. At this point in time, she is with her boyfriend, whose name is Nathan. Nathan asks her whether everything is all right, and she replies that yes, it is. After this, they bring their car to a stop at a gas station, where they happen to meet 3 other people who are extremely excited. Then an old man comes up to them there, hands them a paper, and gets them to sign it. As it turns out, every single one of them has come here in order to play a game called Slasher Sleepout, in which they will be taken far away into a forest somewhere and left there for a few days, and where they will have to face the kinds of things that you probably would not find in any other game. That is exactly the reason they are made to sign the paper, so that if anything were to happen to any one of them, the responsibility for it would be entirely their own. In this game, there is no limit whatsoever to how far the organizers can go in order to frighten the players. One by one, every one of them signs the paper. After this, their phones are taken away from them and they are told to wait. A little while later, some masked men arrive there, and these men tell all of them to put on masks. And now these men load all of them into their vehicle, drive them out to a deserted, lonely forest, and leave them there before going away. Now, one of them, a boy whose name is Larry, notices that there are numbers written on top of the trees and that these numbers are pointing toward a particular direction. Every one of them heads off in that very direction, and there they find their bags, which even had each of their names written on them. When Larry opens his bag, he finds a newspaper clipping inside it, and the headline on it reads, "2 mental patients escape." In the very same way, each and every one of them finds something or other inside their own bag. The boy named Tim finds a flashlight in his bag, Marina finds a gun, Pitch finds the bullets, and inside Nathan's bag, there is a key. But inside Alex's bag, there is nothing at all. Once they have found their bags, these people walk further ahead, and then a box comes into their view, one that had been placed underneath a tree. Alex tries to open it, but there was a lock fixed on it. For that reason, they are left deep in thought about how on earth this thing could be opened. Then it occurs to Alex that they should definitely take a look at those numbers that are fixed on the trees. And so all of them go over to that tree and begin looking at it very, very carefully. Within just a short while, Alex understands what the password is. She tells it to everyone, and after that, they open the box. But out of it comes a severed human hand. Looking at it, it seems as though it has only just been cut off and placed here. Everyone is left wondering, is this real, or is it just a dummy? But not a single one of them has enough courage to actually touch it. For that reason, they move on ahead, and they begin to wonder what is going to happen next. Because up until now, nothing of the sort has happened that would actually make them feel afraid. As they keep walking along like this, darkness sets in. These people light up their torches, and then they begin searching for some kind of camp, because they had been told that they would be given a camp in order to spend the night. But right then, Tim's torch begins to flicker. And only a little while after that, every single one of their torches shuts off entirely on its own. All of them become extremely frightened, and right at that moment, they hear the sound of someone walking. When they turn around and look behind them, there are a great many masked men standing there, each one with a light in his hand. Alex begins to run, and following right behind her, all the others begin to run as well, and finally every one of them reaches the camp, the place where all of them are meant to stay tonight. They light a fire, and sitting around there, every one of them tells their own story. For example, Marina was extremely excited about coming here, because in games like this one, there is a great deal of fun to be had, and she had read about this particular game on the dark web, a place where anonymous, unknown people describe exactly how they had managed to complete this game, and how, after completing the game, they never show their face to anyone. Hearing the things she says, everyone is left wondering why it is that once these people had finished the game, they would not show their face to anybody. In the meantime, we come to learn that Alex was not supposed to come here at all, but she had come here only because Nathan had asked her to. For that reason, she wants to finish the game as quickly as she possibly can and go back home. She does not like games like this one in the slightest. After this, everyone says goodnight and goes off to sleep in their own separate tents. But a little while later, we see that Alex once again has the dream about Jared. She gets up at once. In the meantime, someone begins stabbing at her tent with a knife. Nathan comes outside. He sees that there is an old man standing there, one who appears to have escaped from some kind of madhouse or asylum. His clothes were torn and ragged, and he keeps telling all of them to get away from here quickly, but all of them treat what he says as nothing more than a joke. So he wounds Nathan's hand with his knife and then runs away from there. Alex immediately dresses and bandages the wound on Nathan's hand. The next morning, when everyone's eyes open, they once again see a mystery box placed in front of their tent. Right then, Marina notices that all of the people have come outside, but Tim is nowhere to be seen anywhere. For that reason, in order to search for him, all of them go off in different directions. When some time has passed, Alex goes over to a tree. Something is dripping down from the top of the tree, and when she looks upward, she sees Tim's dead body up there, one that had been killed in a truly horrible way. Running, she comes back to her friends and tells them every single thing. But when those people reach the tree, they find nothing there at all. Alex becomes extremely shocked, wondering how something like this could possibly happen. She had seen everything with her very own eyes. Nathan asks her whether she has taken her medication. She replies that she has not, and Nathan tells her that she really ought to be taking her medication. After this, all of them come back to their camp, and here, Alex tries to open that box. Within just a short while, she opens the box, almost as though she already knew beforehand the passwords to all of the locks. But after putting in so much effort, what they find inside that box is a small little compass, and seeing it makes Pitch irritated. He had been feeling that perhaps they would find something useful, and upon seeing the compass, he becomes very disappointed. For that reason, getting angry, he goes so far as to point his gun directly at Alex, the very gun that he had found inside his own bag. But right then, Alex sees, behind a tree, that same old man who had been troubling them ever since the previous night. Pitch goes and grabs hold of him from behind and says to him that all of this is his doing. Where are the rest of his accomplices? The man replies that he has only one accomplice, who is sleeping right now. After this, the old man attacks Pitch with his knife, and right in front of everyone, he drags him away into the forest. These four had been thinking that this was a prank. For that reason, they do not react very much. But Marina feels that something is wrong, and so she goes over to that spot where the man had attacked Pitch with the knife. When she touches the blood that is lying there, she comes to realize that it is real blood. After that, she tells all of them that it had not been any kind of prank, but rather it had been the reality. This makes every one of them extremely afraid. Marina, who had been the most excited of all about this game, now shouts out, "I am leaving," and begins to run. And within just a short while, she disappears. Now at this point, 3 people are left, and among them, Larry had a phone that he had hidden away, and the people running this game had no idea at all about the fact that he had a phone. Using that very phone, he calls the police and begins to tell them everything. But right then, a voice comes through to him, saying that he should break the phone as quickly as he possibly can, otherwise those people will kill him, and then it disconnects his call. But Larry does not break the phone, and right at that moment, there comes the sound of a gunshot being fired, and the bullet hits Larry. He had broken the rules, but even now, 2 people are still left, Nathan and Alex. And now at this point, some masked men arrive, and they fix masks onto their faces. When Alex's eyes open, she is standing on the shore of a sea. When she looks beside her, there was a man lying there. When she goes over to him, she comes to know that this is in fact Jared, the one who keeps appearing again and again in her dreams. As it turns out, he is her ex-boyfriend. She had been together with him for many years, but then Alex started taking drugs. Jared tried very hard to make her understand and to talk her out of it, but because she would not listen to what he said, the 2 of them broke up, and now she is with Nathan, the one who tells her to take her medicine every single day so that her addiction habit will be broken. And now Alex sees that one of her legs has been tied to a steel wire. The steel wire is running into the sea, and it is tied to a large rock. She goes into the sea and tries to pull the steel wire free from there, but even after trying very hard, she is not able to do so. After that, she comes back out of the sea. And now Jared goes into the sea, and right at that moment, something pulls him down into the sea. Right before Alex's very eyes, someone dragged Jared away, and this makes her extremely afraid. Right then, she catches sight of Nathan, who is tied up with that very same steel wire that has been tied to her leg. And if she were to pull on the steel wire, then he would come crashing down to a place where there are a great many spikes, and he would die. But she wants to go into the water in order to save Jared. For that reason, she does not care about what happens to Nathan, and she jumps into the water. Because of this, the pulling down of the steel wire causes him to become wounded. Alex goes into the water, where she is not able to find Jared, and so she comes back. Nathan had already become wounded because of her. Right then, it comes to Alex's attention that Nathan had found a key inside his bag. Perhaps it was the key to this very lock. For that reason, she takes it out and tries to open the lock with it, and through this, Nathan becomes free. After this, they check that pistol, the one that had come out of Pitch's bag. But it turns out to be a fake pistol, and now they move further ahead in order to search for the next clue. But as they keep doing this, darkness sets in, and right then Nathan finds in one place some suits that had belonged to the masked men, the ones who kept appearing before them again and again, the ones who had been frightening them. Upon seeing those suits, they understand that those people are, in reality, fake. There is nothing of the sort actually here. Right then, a hand emerges from inside the ground, and it begins pulling Nathan down into the ground. Alex tries to save him, but right then, a masked man comes up from behind her. He attacks her, but Alex survives, and she hides in one spot, and now she too had put on that very same mask. After this, she comes out in front of the masked man. The masked man becomes frightened upon seeing her, because she is the one who is attacking him. That man removes his own mask and says to let him go. Alex lets him go, but once again, he attacks Alex. This time, a real pistol falls into Alex's hands, and with it, she shoots that man, and through this, he is killed. Today, for the very first time, she has killed a human being. She becomes completely terrified, and now there is no one left with her. She has been left all alone in this entire forest. For that reason, she begins running along the road, with the hope that perhaps she might come across someone who could help her. There on the road, she finds a police car. She asks the officer for help. Upon seeing the state that Alex is in, he makes a call to summon an ambulance. But in the meantime, someone comes up behind him and attacks him, and this was none other than the old man who had killed Pitch. He had been chasing after them all this time. For that reason, Alex once again runs away, and while running and running, she arrives at a bar, a place where there was silence on every side. But right then, she begins to see her dead friends. These were their spirits, which were moving toward her, and all of them attack her all together at once. This makes Alex faint from fear, but in the meantime, Nathan comes and picks her up. When her eyes open, we come to learn that all of this was, in reality, a prank, and that all of these things had been fake, things that Nathan had arranged to be done, and that every one of the people who had died were all actually alive. Pitch explains that the blood which they had seen was, in reality, the blood of an animal. Alex does indeed get some relief, but even now she was still quite shaken and nervous. However, she does not say anything to anyone about this. In other words, this game was being played only with Alex. All the rest of the people had already been in on it together from the very start. Now the game has finally come to an end. Every one of the people sets off toward their own respective homes. Alex and Nathan are also on their way back, but here we see that Alex is messaging Jared. But he does not reply with anything at all. For that reason, when Nathan stops at a gas station, Alex gets out and tries to make a call to Jared, but the sound of the phone ringing is coming from the trunk of the car. And when she opens the trunk of the car, Jared is lying inside it in an unconscious state. She is trying to wake him up. Right then, Nathan arrives there. As it turns out, Nathan had believed that, ever since Alex had been with him, she had been cheating on him. For that reason, he had planned out this entire game. Alex tells him that the pills which she takes are not for giving up an addiction, but rather they are in other words, those very pills are themselves addictive pills. Upon hearing this, Nathan becomes extremely angry, and he says that she will have to leave Jared, otherwise he will kill him right now. But she is not able to do that, because Jared had stood by her side during her bad times. And that is exactly why, on the seashore, Alex had tried to save Jared rather than saving Nathan. As it turns out, this had been a test of hers, one in which she had ended up failing. And now Nathan strikes a blow upon Jared, who is unconscious. Alex attacks Nathan in order to save him, and a fight breaks out between the two of them. But here, Alex lets out all of her anger upon Nathan, the very anger from that same prank that Nathan had played on her, the anger that had been building up and filling inside her all this time. With the knife that she has, she kills Nathan. As it turns out, Nathan had wanted Alex to forget all about Jared and to stay with him forever, but she had not been able to do that. For that reason, he had even put her through a test in which she had failed, And on account of this, he was extremely angry deep down inside. He had wanted to kill Jared, but his own game ended up backfiring on him. On account of this, he was the one whose own death came about. And with this, this story comes to an end right here.